go. Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have an incredible guest with us, none other than student minister Stanley Muhammad, who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. This means a great deal to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, sir.
Well, I'm honored to be on the show with you, Brother Josh Muhammad, a great star in our nation. And I'm honored that your family is honored to have me on the show because your family is a very prestigious and wonderful family that made great sacrifices for our nation, great sacrifices for the Messiah that's in our midst, the Honorable Minister Min Farrakhan. And we truly love your family, and we're grateful to Allah for all your family sacrifice and love that you have shown for us as a people, our nation, and of course, the Messiah that's in our midst, the Honorable Minister Min Farrakhan. Thank you very much.
Walaikum salam, sir. Thank you, and thank you, sir. And you already know what it is on our end. We love you all as well. Brother Minister, for as many times as I've had the opportunity to speak with you in Atlanta and your family, and you watch us grow up, I never had the opportunity to ask you the question that I asked all of my guests first. When did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Well, I was a teenager going to Lakeshore High School in College Park, Georgia. Well, let me back up. It was Westlake High School because at that time, Westwood High School and Lakeshore High School merged and became one. So I was originally going to Lakeshore High School, but then when I moved back from Los Angeles, I actually was attending Westwood, which is actually a merger of Lakeshore and Westlake, which is a merger of Westwood and Lakeshore, pardon me. It was about 1987. My friend named Brother Michael gave me a book called Malcolm X Speaks, which is a compilation of speeches by Brother Malcolm when he was the national representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And when I read that book, I saw life differently. My eyes became open to the truth, and immediately the truth that I heard that Brother Malcolm spoke resonated in my soul. I did not understand everything he said, Brother Josh, but I knew it was the truth. And I knew it was something that I've been yearning for all of my life.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. And once you accepted the teachings, how did your family?
Once I accepted the teaching, how did my family respond?
Yes, sir. And your friends?
Well, my mother and father naturally said, well, we raised you up to be a Christian. And they have their false notions of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, thought that we not believe in Jesus. My uncle in Nashville, being a prominent Baptist preacher, and my other uncle, his younger brother, being a deacon in Nashville, Tennessee, they made mockery about me being on the corner selling the final call newspaper and bean pies, and then in conjunction with, the false notion that we did not believe in Jesus. And if we did not accept Jesus as our Lord and personal Savior, we, meaning my wife and myself, then we would go to hell or we would burn in everlasting fire. So I had to contend with that. But because they saw the tremendous change in my life, because they knew that I did not even know the Bible as a Christian, The only prayer I knew, Brother Josh, was when Jesus went to the tomb of Lazarus, is that Jesus wept.
Yes,
That
sir.
was the
Yes,
only
sir.
prayer I knew. And I can't remember praying except one time when I was in a fight. That fight was fierce. I was kind of losing the fight. And I prayed to God to help me with the strength to win the fight. And I was 9 years old. That was the last time I can remember praying as a Christian. But as a Muslim, my mother and father saw me pray often. They saw me quoting the Bible more than they ever did before. I taught my uncle, I taught my both uncles and my mother and my father about the Bible, and not just the Bible, but the understanding of the scriptures I received from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his vicar, the spiritual son of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And gradually, they began to accept me being a Muslim follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under divine leadership of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. And then eventually they began to listen to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. My uncle now owns a Holy Quran. My uncle now says he loves the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. He listens to him all the time. He calls the white folks the C word. And I'm not talking about Caucasian.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
and so they all now are embracing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. My mother loves the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. She always calls me and says, I just listened to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that man is sure teaching the truth. And she watched the Aretha Franklin funeral.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she bragged about when she saw the minister walk on stage. She said that the minister had the aura that was greater than all the presidents. She said his presence was so divine. She was so proud when he walked on stage, although he did not say a word. She was so happy and honored that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan was there to represent us as a people at our wonderful sister, the Queen of Soul, Sister Aretha Franklin's funeral. And my father, before he transitioned, may Allah be pleased with him,
Please.
I was stuck in Mexico with my wife, and 3 believers visited my father while he was on his deathbed, and they prayed with him, and they gave him words of inspiration from the Bible, and he received it with so much joy. He called me and my wife while we was in Mexico, and he had tears of joy. He said, this is the best visit I ever had in my life. And so he said, they gave me hope, they gave me inspiration. And so now I can truly say, Brother Josh, that my entire family loves me as being a Muslim follower of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, my wife and my entire children. They look up to me, and they're grateful now to this very day that I accepted the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praises are due to Allah.
All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. And that's a beautiful, brother minister. We have a few more questions for you. You're getting a lot of love on Facebook. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Both of my sisters, Mimi and Naima, send the greetings. Sister Carl, Brother Robin says, Brother Stanley, the great preacher of freedom, justice, and equality, one of the realest. Sister Victoria sends the greetings. Sister Brother Amir Hakim says, "Assalamu alaikum, mighty fruit," and people saying all praise due to Allah and alhamdulillah. Yes, sir. My next question for you is: when you came in the mosque during that time period, who trained you, and how did you get into the ministry?
Well, when I first came into the mosque, my captain at that time was Brother Captain Sadiq Muhammad, who was one of the great Southern regional captains at that time for your father, who was a student supreme captain. And my minister was Brother Minister Van. He was a Southern regional minister. And when I came in, he was so loving. He was so compassionate. And he took me on the road with him because at that time the minister was on the Stop the Killing tour around the country. But at this time, he was on a tour in the South. And so what we did, we had to go in advance and sell tickets and sell out the venue. And he gave us an opportunity to be able to make money to provide for our families. So we're gone for 2 weeks, yes, but we sell out the venue by Allah's grace to help our nation with a great victory. But we also come home with money in our pockets that we can pay the rent and keep the lights on and put a little sweet something in our white pocket.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, continue to take care of our families. And so it was intense training back then in the 90s. We was not allowed to sit down without our right hand over left. When we was on post, we could not talk to no one except in the line of duty. And when we was on post, when a superior officer walked by, we had to snap to attention. And when we snapped to attention, it was constant training by these great student lieutenants of Brother Student Captain Sadiq Muhammad, that they would ask me my general orders. They would ask me my student enrollment. They would ask me, you know, about the actual facts. They would ask me questions that I should know the answer to. And if I did not know the answer, after I got off post, I would have to do 50 push-ups. I would have to, you know, do some kind of reprimand out of love. And then if I didn't have a pen and pad, if I didn't have my shoes shine, if I did not have, you know, a white shirt and I had a shirt that was other than white, then that was a time of teaching and training in the way of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But we received the training with joy because we knew it was out of love. We knew it was making us into the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And at that time, Brother Josh, that was all our focus. We wanted to be like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and whoever can get us closer to be like that man, we love that vessel that helped to teach and train us, as harsh it might be, appear to be to those looking from the outside in. We knew it was going to make us into the men of God to prepare us to be able to bring in the new world and actually help Allah bring down that old world, or this old world that Satan had produced in the past 6,000 years of his rule.
Excellent, Brother Minister. And so many people in the comments are showing you love. Sister Shah says, Assalamu alaikum, family. Alaikum salam. Beautiful. My next question for you, sir, is when did you go from seeing the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as maybe a activist or a good speaker to someone who was, in fact, as you referred to him, as the vicar of Christ and someone who's divinely guided? What was it that made you change how you saw him?
That's a beautiful question, Brother Josh, because when I was growing up and when I became really revolutionary, at that time, the rappers were like Public Enemy.
Yes, sir.
The rappers were like Air B and Rakim, who was a 5%er at that time, and now a 5%er still, who was Grand Nubian. It was a Black conscious movement that the Nation of Islam sparked in the hip hop world. And I was so influenced by that revolutionary rap. Sister Soldier was one who was very political with her rap. And so when I was on my way to the liquor store, downtown 5 Points, I saw Brother Horace Muhammad from Muhammad's Mosque number 15 selling the Final Call newspapers and the lectures by the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan. Although I never heard the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan's voice, this was 1989, but I heard about it. And so at that time, I had to do community service hours. to graduate. And I said, I ain't working for no white folks. And I was saying no crackers to for free to graduate. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna do something for my people. So my partners were walking with me, and we all had our put-in money. So I had to put in a certain amount to get some drink. And I used to drink the gin and grapefruit juice, and that was my drink. And so this is my lunch break now, Brother Josh.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
So my partners kept walking. And so I approached Brother Horace and I said, I would like to sell those newspapers with the Final Call newspaper voluntarily so I can graduate. And smooth as Brother Horace is and was back then, he said, sure, young brother. And so he invited me to the meeting. At that time, Muhammad's Mosque number 15 was meeting at Phyllis Wheatley Y at the AU complex. And he said, you can come to the meeting and sign up to sell the paper. And I said, okay, good, I'll be there. It was a Wednesday meeting he'd invited me to. I was about to walk away. He said, hey, brother, you like get a Farrakhan tape? I said, Farrah who? He said, Farrakhan. And I remember Public Enemy said, Farrakhan's a prophet, and I think you ought to listen to. And that's what caused me to go in my pocket, my put-in money. I gave him my liquor money. And he gave me the most powerful tape that I ever heard in my life. And that was Madison Square Garden, Power at Last and Forever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I couldn't drink because with my partner, you don't put in, you don't drink. So I was sober and I got that lecture and I listened to it. And I saw the minister as being a revolutionary speaker. But the more I stayed in the process of the Nation of Islam, when I became a processing registered FOI and became a registered FOI and started studying, I evolved from seeing him being an activist and a revolutionary to a divine man who was sent from Almighty God Allah and His exalted Christ for our salvation. Praise be to Allah.
Beautiful, excellent, Reverend. And thank you very much. And so many people are showing you love in the comments. Gerald Hall says Public Enemy put him on the Farrakhan as well. So Shahida Muhammad says Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, ma'am. So many people are showing you love in the comments. Okay, excellent. My next question for you, sir, is meeting the Most Honorable Minister Farrakhan. How was that? And you know, what were the circumstances?
My first time meeting Honorable Minister Farrakhan it was so divine. I was on a detail with Brother Student Regional Captain Sadiq, and he said the Honorable Minister Farrakhan is going to South Carolina State. His son Abnar was attending South Carolina State at that time, and he was going to have lunch with him and some of the students and some of the faculty, top educators of that fine institution. And then he was going to speak that evening at Benedict College. And that was one of the most powerful messages I ever heard. A man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. And so I was on the detail with the minister as a young FOI. And this was, I believe it was 1990 or 1990. And then after the minister spoke, he just bought this Range Rover from what I heard, with beautiful Range Rover. Him and his son, now Student Supreme Captain Mustafa Farrakhan, was going to ride back to Chicago. So we was in the caravan escorting the minister from South Carolina to Atlanta. And then from Atlanta, the minister and the Student Supreme Captain, Brother Mustafa Farrakhan, was going to drive and on their own back to Chicago. But we stopped at a gas station right around Cobb County somewhere, and the minister called us all around the vehicle and wanted to thank us for soldiering with him and securing him and being there with him so we can share the life-giving teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad with our people. And brother student captain Sadiq, he said, brother minister, I want to introduce you to a new brother, brother Stanley 2X Henry. And the minister said, looked at brother captain Sadiq, student captain Sadiq, he said, brother, I'm new too. This teachers are new to all of us. He said, brother, welcome to the Nation of Islam. He shook my hand and I was so fired up. But I felt, to be honest with you, brother Josh, I felt insecure because I had this thrift store suit on with suspenders. I couldn't afford to alter it. And all, you know, brother Captain Sadiq, I don't know if you know, but the student captain, I mean, diamond rings and gator shoes. Your father wearing diamond rings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm like, everybody in fine suit. And I'm in this thrift store suit, and I didn't feel like I knew enough of the teachings. This is my immature thinking, to be in the presence of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I just felt unworthy, right? And so I sat in the car, and I was just, you know, just so happy that I shook the minister's hand and just thinking about how a great honor it was. Then Brother Sadiq, get out the car, Stan. The minister wants to greet all of us before he leaves. So I stood behind everybody, way in the back. And the minister sitting with the passenger side door with the door open. He said, brothers, it's such an honor to have you all sacrifice your families to secure your brother. And he just said, I'm just so thankful to Allah for each and every one of you. And he said, thank you. And he reached past every one of those brothers with the fine suits and the alligator shoes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And shook my hand, and I felt so honored. And so I guess he was tuning into my thinking and feeling my spirit of insecurity. And he let me know how important, how invaluable I am by shaking my hand and with a beautiful smile. That was my first time meeting the Honorable Minister Farrakhan in person. And my first time, you know, shaking his hand and just being blessed to be in his presence and have a one-on-one conversation with him.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, great. Brother Minister, thank you, sir. And so many people are showing you love in the comments. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. I have a quick 60-second commercial break, and then we're coming right back to the rest of our questions, Brother Minister, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, here we go. And thank everyone who continues to like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast on Facebook and on YouTube. We truly are grateful for every sponsorship, every donation, and of course, every sponsor. All right, here we go. Here we go. If you'd like to be a sponsor or donor at home, please cash app the People's Podcast. Okay, 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right. I want to thank, first of all, I'm going to start with my brother, Rashad, Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of that his services. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. My sister Naima, Stay on Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and right here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. We love our tiny dancers. Raw Communications, if you're working on a book and you need copy editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Raw Communications. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad out of Austin, Texas, conflict mediation, squashing the beef in the Southwest region, and his wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High, giving birth to a God in the science of child rearing. Please reach out to her. We're coming right back to our brother, Student Minister Stanley. Also, Fashion Gods out of St. Louis, 314-329-6009. If you want to get some new clothes, please reach out to him. Sister Sherry Muhammad, AsiacMinds.com. She teaches virtually to young kings and queens all across the country. AsiacMinds.com. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. If you need a bow tie, he'll ship it to you anywhere in the country. Also, the Maven of Real Estate, Sister Karima Muhammad, 470-779-3759. If you need some real estate, whatever your real estate needs are, please reach out to her. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 Disinfecting Cleaning Services. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Thank you all very much. Right back to our brother, student minister, Stanley Muhammad. Okay, boom. So, Brother Minister, my next question for you, sir, is, in your time in the nation and out of the nation, have you ever faced fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
Yes. Inside the nation, I actually faced fear before. I was on my way in 1997, right around November, in College Park to train a new brother to go door to door and sell the Final Call newspaper, which is our international newspaper published by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I was going to meet him at a barbershop in the old National Discount Mall Plaza called Soul Brothers, owned by a FOI named Brother Jeff Muhammad. And Brother Joshua Muhammad was a barber there. Brother Perry Muhammad was a barber there. A couple FOI was a barber there. On my way to teach and train this new brother, I had my wife in the van with me on the passenger side. I just picked up my children from Blackstone Academy, and I had Bashira in the car. I had my young brother-in-law in the car, Lewis, and a few other of my children, a couple of my children. And I saw this white officer that always arrested the FOI when we soldier in College Park, a racist officer named David Block of College Park Police Department. And another heavy-set white officer was roughing up this brother after he was handcuffed on the sidewalk in front of Discount Mall. And at that time, there was a laundromat on the corner, and maybe about 50 people gathering, watching. The officer's not giving him any problems. But when he looked up and he saw me with my suit and bow tie, he told me to disperse. And then he walked towards the vehicle, and I didn't want him to approach my family with hostility. So I jumped out the car and approached him and asked him, am I breaking the law? I'm just observing. He said, I told you to disperse. He had his hand on his gun. And so I got back in the car, and then he followed behind me. Now, he left his partner by himself with a suspect. And that's how much hatred he has for the Nation of Islam and follows the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan. So he got between my door, preventing me from shutting the door. He's red, he has his hand on his gun. And I said, officer, if you can please step outside of my door so I can shut my door to adhere to your request, I would appreciate it. He said, no, I'm not moving. So then I actually kept my door open. I cranked the car up and moved past him and shut the door once I moved past him, and proceeded to go about my business to meet the brother to train him how to sell the Final Call. So I got out, my wife was about to leave, and then my wife said, here comes the officer. So I looked up, he's running towards me, and he grabs me on my jacket. I said, get your hands off me. I didn't break no law. What are you doing? At that time, there was fear, but I challenged the fear. Because I knew I was not wrong. I knew I did not break no law. So at that point, I knew as a follower of the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan that Allah was with me. And so he ran the second time to grab me. At that time, I picked him up I slammed him on the ground and whooped him. And then at that time, I saw police cars coming from all over, like someone robbed a bank. And Brother Joshua from the barbershop, Brother Jeff from the barbershop came out and ran to my aid, and they got into a fight with a couple of officers. And then a black officer ran and he pulled a gun out on me, was about to shoot. My wife came between me and the officer and said, "You bet not shoot my husband." He put that gun back in his holster and followed her command and took out the black nigga be cool stick and told me to get down on my knees. And so my wife said, "Get down, honey." And so I got down, they handcuffed me, and they took us all to jail. And at that time, they was trying to give me like 5 years in prison time. And at that time, I was sent down to St. Petersburg to be the student minister in 1997. And I had to come back up to actually St. Petersburg, Florida, pardon me.
Yes, sir.
And I had to come back up to actually deal with the case and the charges. And I couldn't afford a lawyer, so I had to represent myself. And so when I got to court, it was a fear, because I didn't know, because people were telling me that, "Oh man, you don't have a lawyer, or you're gonna do prison time. You're a fool to go to court with those felony charges and of fighting a police officer. Then you're done, man. I would not advise that." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna put my faith and trust in the Lord God." Brother Joshua, Muhammad, and Brother Jeff, they was there with me. My older brother Tyrone was there with me, and Allah began to work. The solicitor told the officer he can go home for some reason, without the permission of the black judge, and it was a black woman too at that. So a black judge, she was hot, and she said, "Well, where's the officer?" And the white solicitor started shaking. He said, "I told him he can leave." She said, "You mean you told him he can leave my courtroom?" And at that point, she chided him, and she asked me what happened. And I opened up in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And I told her exactly what I told you. I said, when he grabbed me, I said, "Judge, we are taught in the Nation of Islam that we're never to be the aggressor. But if we're aggressed against, we have the God-given right to fight with those who fight with us. And we fight in the name of Allah, God, and we will be victorious." And that's exactly what I did. I exercised my God-given rights and my religious belief. And then she looked and she said, "I know the Nation of Islam. Something about what you are saying to the solicitor and what this officer is saying don't sound right. The Nation of Islam does not aggress against people and officers. I know that there's something faulty about this case, son." She said, "Mr. Muhammad," and she was speaking very, very affectionate towards me, like she was respected me as a follower of the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan. She said, "You're free to go. This case is dismissed." And she hit the galvin, hit the table, her desk, and I said, "Allahu Akbar," walked out and dropped the case, and then they changed the laws in College Park that now all the brothers can soldier on the corner, because they used to lock us up for selling the final call, but they changed the laws in College Park. Now we can soldier without any hindrance. Outside the nation, bro, I was scared to death. I got to tell you so many things that put me to fear, because Islam takes away all fear. So we be here all day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't want to tell you about all those fearful moments.
Yes, sir. Beautiful. And Brother Minister, so many people in the comments are showing you love. My sister's name is all praise to Allah. People are saying that's right. That's our minister. Beautiful. Sister Closum says that's right. We fight with those who fight with us. Alhamdulillah. Allah Akbar, they changed the law. History was made. A lot of people just showing you love, reminiscent. I can't wait to put this on YouTube so they can show you love as well. My next question for you, sir, is the Million Man March. What was it like? What was the climate like leading up to it, and how did it personally impact you?
Oh man, Brother Josh, that Million Man March was so powerful. Leading up to the Million Man March was very difficult because the minister put out a $2 edition back in 1994, 95, which that was, a lot of people was asking why is the paper $2? It was a special edition to help finance the march because the march was very, very expensive. And so we had a lot of difficulty factors to overcome, but we saw the momentum of the community gradually pick up. I was here in Atlanta, Georgia at the time, and we and brother student minister Jamil was the student minister, the student Southern Regional minister, and brother student captain Curtis was the student captain. And we worked night and day. We put up posters, we put up flyers. Your father was the wonderful student supreme captain. And he was driving us every day, all day, to lead up to the Million Man March. At one point, the believers seemed like they got tired around August 1995, but the outside community was fired up.
Yes,
They
sir.
were just, they was just on fire. And the minister had to give us a pep talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
August 1995. And then he was telling us about how the people are actually fired up, but it seemed like the believers are losing their fire. And so after that message, brother, the nation was just got that extra boost to be able to complete our assignment, to make the Million Man March a success. And the time to lead up to the march, it was beautiful because there was buses in Atlanta that the sisters were actually with the poster signs, encouraging us. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Long live the spirit of Million Man March. And they packed us food. My wife made some burritos for the brothers. I was riding with some brothers in the car. And it's something that I was put in a vehicle with some brothers that, we wasn't on the best of terms. And, brothers have differences too. And, we started talking a little bit on the road and, then we got too close to DC. We started seeing all these buses, brothers holding up their fists. And we got to the gas station and it was packed with black men in cars and vans. And I was, and for us, we would say this is going to happen because we didn't know if a million men was going to show up or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To be honest, we didn't know. We just prayed that Allah bless us with a victory. But the closer we got to DC, like right around the Virginia area, we started seeing all these black men, buses and charter buses. And we got into DC, it was full of black men vending on the street. It was just like a whole bunch of ants piled up on a mound. And you couldn't even see the mound. It was covered with ants. It was covered with black people, the whole Washington, D.C. with black men.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we got fired up. And we in the car that started off a little tense. We were saying, Allahu Akbar, hugging each other, giving each other high five. It made us forget about any difference we had. Because the joy of what we did together as brothers. And then we was struggling, all of us in the car was struggling. We all got into the same hotel room, about 15 brothers in the same hotel room. I slept on the the dresser.
Dang.
And we only had, and your father's supreme captain had us out, we had to be on post at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we just laid down at 12 o'clock midnight.
Mm-mm.
I'm talking about soldiers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we had to do a quick shower, put on our FOI uniform, and it was so cold that day. When we got on post, it was super cold. So we had to like drill just to stay warm. And then at the mall, you had green grass in the middle and gravel on both sides. And all you heard, it was dark. You heard like cattle actually just marching together as in groups, and you heard the footsteps of Black men with their sons on their shoulders and backpacks. And I was looking, and I said, it was such a beautiful sight to see. And they were not FOI, they were Christians, they were Pan-Africanists, they were doctors, they were lawyers, they were homeless, they were gangbangers. And all these brothers I'm seeing with joy coming to the Million Man March. And then the closer it got to sunrise, it got warmer, and the sun was so bright. And at 10 o'clock, Brother Reverend Benjamin Shaver said, I'm pleased to announce we have reached 1 million Black men. For the joy was so magnificent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To see that we've done it. All of our hard work, although we was not sure and we had doubts and we had difficulties. But to see the vision of the man of God coming to fruition, it was such a great joy. And then at the end, at the Million Man March on Constitution Avenue, you had all these Black vendors who sold out. And me and all those brothers, our pockets had a month. We had sold paperback editions, and all our papers sold out. Brothers gave $20 for a paper, $50 for a paper. So we all got paid. And we went to like the Jamaican hut, and brother was playing some Rastafarian music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we were eating our Jamaican patties, and we were hugging each other. I'm talking brothers with differences.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We had to say a word, but the spirit of love, the spirit of brotherhood was there at that march. And we left that march the best of friends, Brother Josh. We got back to Atlanta, and we became closer than we ever been before. And it was because of the spirit of atonement, the spirit of the Million Man March. That's one of the greatest experiences I ever had in my life. And I will always have a special place in my heart for the Million Man March. Beautiful. Thank you, Brother Josh, for that wonderful question.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Remember, we just have a few more questions before you go. I just want to read some of the comments. Allahu Akbar, Sister Wahida, Brother Ali. We work so hard. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. All across the country, we bear witness. This is a beautiful sight. Excellent. Beautiful memories. Praise be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam to the Captain of Brenda. So many people who were showing love in the comments. Thank everyone who seems to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast and the support. Brother Student Minister Stanley. My next question I want to make tell a quick story about you, Brother Minister. But everyone who knows, especially like Sister Captain Brenda, who used to come to all of my plays, you talking about struggling and putting together, producing my own productions. I remember that. Yes, sir. Money would be tight, and I would go to Brother Student Minister Stanley and try to get College Park Auditorium at discount rates. And you went with me to represent at the council meeting and try to get the discounts. And then you offered your sound for the music and the sound system for free. We was broke. We was struggling doing plays, and I just want to thank you, Brother Stanley, for always believing in me and the cast of my productions. I mean, because you did it off the strength of your heart, and I appreciate that. And I want to make sure, on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, that we thank you for your sacrifice and the sacrifice of your family as well. We are extremely humbled, and we support you all and just show love to you. I wanted to speak about the strength that I saw you recently, because we want to talk about Akira's Cafe. And
may I say something about your wonderful plays? May I say something?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brother, I believed in you, and I always was thankful to Allah for you. And really, you were born out of the spirit of your mother, because your mother always wanted to fulfill that kind of aspect of her life. That was one of her loves. That, yes, you caught that in the womb.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I used to be so happy to see the mother and son relationship. It was so pure and so beautiful. She believed in you. And I saw how happy she was to see your plays be such a great success. And your father was a proud father sitting on the front row.
Yes, sir.
You know, and your whole family, brother. And that's what brought joy to my heart, to see your family, who suffered so much for our nation and for the Honorable Min Farrakhan, to be able to enjoy a moment to see your wonderful expression in the Ministry of Arts and Culture. And so it was my and my family's honor to help you and your family, you know, be able to express the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in a beautiful way through the Ministry and Arts and Culture. And I was just so just excited to see how you and your mother interacted and the rest of the believers. And so it was a beautiful, beautiful sight to behold. And I was rewarded to see that. And I enjoyed every play. And I miss your plays too, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Brother Minister, I wanted to, how can we support Akira's Cafe for people all across the country? What's the address, and how can we support for people in Atlanta? How can we support it?
Akira's Cafe is a business that we actually erected after Akira was actually in a tragic accident on his 7th birth anniversary, May 11th, 2016. This white Clayton County firefighter who we discovered had a DUI driving record or history 7 months prior to Clayton County erroneously hiring him to drive a safety vehicle that we discovered was against the law. And he was driving in the wrong lane. And from our evidence that we discovered, he ran the traffic light, but Clayton County manipulated a video that made it appear that my daughter, Sophia, ran the traffic light, scapegoating her. But the video was manipulated, and they said the video was a DOT video, Department of Transportation, but it was not. It was a red light citation video. And this was to cover up that she never received a citation from this red light citation camera. If she ran the light, it would have sent a citation in the mail. That's why they wanted to label as a DOT. And the traffic light where this red light citation camera is in the video is completely gone from its original place. And what they did, that traffic light where the red light citation camera is, it was red during the accident, but Sophia's was green. And what they did through video manipulation, they pushed the red traffic light to cover up Sophia's green light to make it appear like she ran the light. If this firefighter was driving in the proper lane, the right lane, he would have missed my daughter, and my daughter would still be alive to this very day. But what's egregious is that Clayton County never fired him. They never should have hired him in the first place. And then a couple of years later, he had another accident where he backed in the fire truck into a Clayton County resident's home and destroyed the home. He had a plethora or many disciplinary actions of being late, calling in sick, just a typical alcoholic characteristic or a drug addict. He's supposed to have taken a drug and alcohol test the day of the accident, mandatory by law. Every time you have an accident in a safety vehicle, they lied and said that he took one at Southern Regional Hospital, which he didn't. We discovered he didn't. And then they came up with a bogus drug test after the accident. So it's a whole bunch of fraud and cover up. But here, my daughter, the day of the accident, suffered brain damage. She couldn't talk after being live and vibrant for 7 years or 6 years. That was her 7th birth anniversary. Always dancing, and all the believers know about my baby.
Yes, sir.
Akira.
Yes, sir.
So loving, so sweet. He took this from us. He took all this joy and her personality from us. She couldn't walk. She couldn't use a restroom on her own. My wife was a 24/7 caretaker of Akira. It was a great tragedy. But the Honorable Minister Farrakhan called us that day, and he told us that Allah remembered me on that day because of my good works. And that's the reason why, one reason why they was spared. Their life was spared in an accident. And he told me that Akira is his little one. He said, kiss my little one and tell her that Allah is going to heal her. And I was so happy. I was so fired up. And his other words he shared. And one thing he said, brother Josh, he said, the devil is a liar. After he asked me about, who ran the light, and I told him that my daughter said she did not run the light. And he said, remember, son, the devil is a liar. And that stuck with me. And so with all what we were suffering with Akira, we want to erect a cafe that reflect her personality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That reflect her spirit. And she loved to sell the final call. She loved the teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. She loved being Pi. She loved being Su. She loved the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan. She loved our nation. And so we want to erect a cafe that would reflect her personality and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan that she so wonderfully loved. That people can come into the cafe and be able to enjoy the spirit of Akira, the spirit of the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so, and to remember, in addition to that, what happened to Akira, that we can all be a place of gathering to get justice for Akira, which this fight continues, because we still have not got justice from Clayton County. And also Mercedes-Benz, we discovered there was a defective airbag that actually ruptured and caused injuries to my daughters as well, that Mercedes-Benz knew about the defective airbag prior to the accident, but we didn't get the notice until after the accident. So we're in a serious fight for justice for our baby Akira. So how can you support Akira's Cafe, which is located 5134 Old National Highway, Suite D, as in David, College Park, Georgia, 30349. And we're open Tuesday through Sunday. We're closed on Monday from 9 to 5 p.m. And you can go to the website and you can order online. We have a DoorDash delivery, Grubhub delivery, and you can go to www.akirascafeandstore.com. That's akirascafeandstore.com, and you can get the menu and our store hours and the phone number. And so we would love for you to support Akira's Cafe, which is actually keeping the spirit of Akira alive. And unfortunately, we had a great devastating tragedy that she returned to Allah on January the 1st, 2022, which we know that it was as a result of the accident that led to Akira returning to Allah. But we accept Allah's irrevocable will, although it was a difficult trial for us at that time. And still we're going through a trial by missing her. And so many things remind us of Akira.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we always seek refuge in Allah and know that there's nothing will happen except by his permission or active will. And he causes life and he causes death. And once again, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan called my wife and myself after the accident, giving us wonderful words of comfort, divine guidance, and he prayed with us. Such a beautiful man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gave us so much inspiration and so much insight on what we call death. And he said to one thing he did say, her spirit will never leave this universe, brother. He said she was a great treasure to us. And I was deeply saddened when I heard about the great loss of Akira. Saddened as a father, saddened for you as my brother, and your wife as my sister.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said, but she was a pure girl. She did not know sin, nor did she know the results of sin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she left out of this world the way she came in. And that made me feel so good that she's guaranteed paradise. And he said that, and he asked me how we put her in the earth, Brother Josh. And he said, did you put her directly into the earth without a coffin? I said, yes, sir, Brother Minister. He said, well, brother, that is most correct. That's the way the messenger said we should do it. He said that we're so used to the devil's way, and we think that basically the correct way is improper or the wrong way. And he said that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught him that when you put the body to the earth, the body is from the earth and the earth receives its own. And he said, then the body enriches the earth and then gives new life to the earth, and a greater sperm comes up and a greater egg comes up. And he said, then she will have a new form. And he said that the Bible says, he said, behold, I will make all things new. It was so beautiful, Brother Josh, that he called us, and the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan just helped us through that difficult hour. And we're still feeding those words that he shared with us in his prayer, this very moment, that just gives us comfort, divine guidance, faith, and just knowing that Akira is not dead. Because the Holy Quran says, speak not of those who are slain or died in the way of Allah is dead. Nay, they are alive, but we perceive not. So, yeah, so if you all can just come by and support Akira's Cafe to keep the vision alive, to keep Akira alive, and be able to get a good, healthy meal based on the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have no GMO. We have no soy. We have no canola oil in our food. We don't use no grease. We air fry everything. We got lamb fillies. We got lamb burgers. We got salmon burgers, and all the bread, all the vegetables is so carefully selected because we love our people. Everything is organic. Everything we strive to pick is based upon how to live, based upon the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if you go online and Google, Akira's Cafe got 4.9 stars. We got one white lady came in, Brother Josh. She saw the brothers and the believers greeting each other, and she's from Knoxville, Tennessee. She said, wow, y'all have so much love for each other. And she said, this is so beautiful. It's so peaceful in here. And she wrote a wonderful review. And she basically was saying that the spirit was so beautiful. I wish I had the review in front of me, but if you all go to Google and put Akira's Cafe reviews, and you can read reviews from white people, Black people. We have Asians that come in there all the time. It's all walks of life that come through Akira's Cafe, and we're blessed because we're like 5 minutes away from the airport. We get that diverse group of people that come and support the cafe, and the business is picking up. And everyone who comes in there, they feel the spirit of peace, the spirit of Akira lingers in that wonderful cafe. Oh, here's the review right here, Brother Josh, if I may, real quickly.
Yes, sir.
Her name is Marilyn Kearns. And when you look at she's straight from Tennessee. She's Caucasian.
Yes, sir.
And so this is someone who's not she didn't know nothing about the Nation of Islam, and she was not coming from a religious perspective. This is what she said about Akira's Cafe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stumbled across this cafe looking for a place to hang out and grab a light bite to eat. When you walk in, you instantly feel a lightness and happiness floating around. It's a very spiritual energy presented in the most delightful ways. You can tell the people here are grateful to be here, to serve you, to feed the community, not only with food, but with love and spirit. Wow. I talked to the father of the family, and he was happy to share his story and his purpose for this cafe and community center next door. Such a great place that deserves your business. This is a white woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Such a great place that deserves your business. The lamb nachos are delicious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
yes,
so
sir.
is the green smoothie. Delightfully recommend checking out this sweet spot. And so we have all these reviews from just different walks of life. Brother Josh, and then one more sister. She's a sister not in the Nation of Islam, Sister Cindy Naughton. She said, I was blessed to attend a workshop at Akira's Cafe today. Mm-hmm. Every aspect of our experience was top notch. I enjoyed a salmon salad sandwich entree, wonderfully flavored bean soup, and green salad with freshly made dressing. Did she say freshly made dressing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think Bashir made that, Brother John. In addition, for an appetizer, I had a green smoothie. All were absolutely perfect. Great portions, fresh ingredients, super clean, friendly service, and great prices. I highly suggest you give them a try ASAP and bring a friend. You'll be glad you did. So that's just a couple of reviews about Akira's Cafe. And as you can see, Brother Josh, you knowing your wonderful niece, knowing her spirit,
yes, sir.
What they're witnessing is the spirit of Akira. And in Islam, I don't know if you all know, Akira means paradise or the hereafter. And when the minister said that Akira lived a perfect and pure life, that she knew no sin or the results of sin, that's the hereafter.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, sir.
And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, my followers are in the hereafter now.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Akira lived the life of the hereafter, and she showed us that this life can be lived of righteousness, and we don't have to sin or no sin. And she showed us that. And that's the spiritual energy that Caucasian lady experienced and our sister experienced. And so many others who come into Akira's Cafe are saying the same thing. They feel the spirit of peace or the spirit of the hereafter or the spirit of Akira.
Praise be
all praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. Well, Brother Minister, we just have 3 more questions for you, sir. And so many people are showing you love on Facebook, saying praise be to Allah, beautiful. This is the spirit. They love you, Brother Minister. Can't wait to come to Akira's Cafe. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Long live Akira. Just long live Muhammad. Beautiful responses. Thank you, everyone who continues to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. Brother Minister, your wife, you speak at FOY class. You always told me and the drill team and any brothers about how you affectionately call her, Sister Baby Ruth, and just your love for her. What advice would you give to future husbands?
Well, the minister said that you're not a man unless you're a man of God.
Mm.
You can be a male, but that does not make you a man.
Mm-hmm.
And the advice I would give brothers who aspire to be future husbands, first be a man of God. And then the Bible says in the book of Matthew 5:8, blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when you see a woman that is right for you, you'll see God in her because your heart is pure, because you're living a righteous life, living a life that is according to your righteous nature. I learned being married for 31 years, April 22nd marks our 32nd wedding anniversary. Praise be to Allah, 9 children, 7 girls, 2 boys.
Yes, sir.
I made some bad mistakes, Brother Josh. I used to come home in the early years of my marriage in 1990 after FOI class with a pint of ice cream that I liked and didn't get nothing for my wife. I wasn't deliberately trying to be that way. I was ignorant. And that's the way I was reared. And my wife said, well, where's mine? I said, baby, you can have some of this. She said, I don't like that kind of ice cream. I was trying to wiggle out of it, Brother Josh, but I couldn't. But I've learned that every time I made selfish decisions, I would create storms in my life as a man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But every time I treated my wife with the love and respect that she deserves, and that God teaches me to show her, then blessings start popping up out of nowhere. And I've learned, Brother Josh, by treating my wife with love and respect, Allah always blessed me. But when I did not treat her like she deserved to be treated, I found myself in abject poverty. I found myself with spiritual arrested development, although I went to a certain spiritual height, but I couldn't go any further. Mentally, there was a mental arrested development. But when I grew by listening to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's lectures, how we should properly treat our women.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or really not our women, but God's woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And treat her with the love and respect she deserves. I saw myself growing economically. I saw myself growing spiritually and mentally. And the love between me and my wife became so enormous. She became my best friend. It was like being in her presence, like being in the presence of heaven. Like she right here with me now.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm in heaven, brother.
Yes, sir.
You hear me? I mean, because this woman, my wife, she had been there for me for better or for worse, sickness and health, for richer or for poorer.
Yes, sir.
She had proven her love, because love is not seen, Brother Josh, when you get married, when things not going well. You can prove that you love somebody, not when you're on the mountain, but when you're in the valley.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prove you love somebody when you're going through the poverty, not the wealth. You prove you love somebody not when they're healthy, but when they're sick.
Yes, sir.
You prove you love somebody when things are not going well in your life, and you're there by their side, and you give them words of inspiration. You give them support. So I'll say to every brother with an S on your chest, and don't stand for Superman, stand for single and suffering.
Yes, sir.
You are missing the greatest part of your life, because the Bible says not good for man to be alone.
That's right.
And when you find a wife, the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Yes, sir.
And brother, when you find a wife, and you find a wife that's compatible with the righteous life you're living, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says, heaven lies at the foot of the woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You sit yourself in heaven at once. And brother, if we ain't treating her right, the Honorable Min Farrakhan said, what can give heaven can also give hell. You don't want to be in hell, because that woman will give you hell, and she know how to do it. Allah put it in her nature. But I just would encourage you all, brothers who are listening to me, who are single and suffering, take that S off your chest.
Yes, sir.
Stop eating at Popeyes and Subway and eating McDonald's and loving it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're digging your grave with your teeth. But when you have a woman that loves you, she sees you as her BMW, black man working.
That's right. That's right.
If you become a certified mechanic, boy, she'll get in there and she'll make that bread from scratch. And when you get home from a hard day's work taking care of her, you'll smell that fresh bread.
Yes, sir.
Coming out the oven. She'll put that, not margarine, but she'll put that butter on top of that bread, and it'll just melt down and absorb in the bread. And she'll take that salmon with the black peppers and, and she'll put that rice with the carrots and the broccoli and
yes, sir. Yes,
cook
sir.
it up for you. And you see that steam just coming from the salmon, and with the little butter and the herbs and spices on that salmon. And you cut it so tender. And then she'll have that freshly squeezed lemonade with the condensation dropping down the side of the glass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she'll have that fresh bean pie in the oven come out and put that ice cream on top once you
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. And she'll have that nice piping bean soup for you to take care of her BMW.
Praise be to Allah.
And after that, she'll rub your feet with shea butter, Brother Josh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rotate them tires to make sure them feet are able to work the next day.
Yes, sir.
With the candle lights around, nice soft music. And after you get that good meal, she ain't gonna be looking ugly for you when you get home. Her hair gonna be done.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have, her face looking light and gleaming, looking so beautiful for her BMW.
Yes, sir.
House gonna be clean, and you're gonna be in that lazy boy with your feet being massaged. I'm saying to you, brother, it's heaven. But always remember, and the point I'm making, the nature of the woman is equal to equal herself up to God. If you do right, she can't help herself. She gonna try to do right with you. She gonna equal herself up to you. And she's gonna love you, brother, and help you like no one else loves and helps you. So that's the advice I would give every brother. Sit yourself in heaven at once and find you a righteous woman, but make sure you're righteous first.
Yes, sir.
You put yourself right, and she will respect you. Because when we lose our moral superiority.
That's right. That's right.
When we lose that moral position with her, we're done. She can't respect us when she knows behind closed doors we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you see you striving to be right, she'll help you be better. She'll help you reach the goal to become one with your Lord. And so that's the advice I would give, Brother Josh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we got 2 more questions for you. And so many people showing you love in the comments. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. What type of music do you like to listen to, Brother Stanley?
Man, brother, I love gospel.
You're like, okay, okay.
I love gospel. I love hip hop. I love jazz. I love classical music. It depends on the mood I'm in. But I would say that lately I've grown to listen to gospel because it's so inspirational, because I'm getting closer to Allah. And the gospel is such deep spiritual music that it just waters my soul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you get to a certain point in your Islam and your journey to be one with Allah, that nothing else matters in your life but Allah, God. Nothing and no one. Because the Holy Quran says we all will come to the beneficent alone. Not going to go with your wife, your children, your mother, your father. We all have to go to Allah alone. And those gospel songs really help my relationship with Allah. It gives me the right attitude, the right spirit. And so I find myself now listening more to gospel, although I like some good rap now. But I used to be a rapper.
Yes, sir.
I used to be a rapper, but I would say that I listen to a lot of different kind of music, but mainly now gospel is the dear to my heart right now.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. And Brother Minister, might I suggest Kanye West's album Donda, some great gospel on there.
Really?
Yes, sir. As well as the Preacher's Wife soundtrack. If I ever trying to get like the spirit of some gospel, I throw some Kanye West on, or the Preacher's Wife soundtrack. Okay, our last question for you, Brother Minister. What would you like your legacy to be, sir?
Love. Love ye one another, even as I have loved you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A true brotherhood. The Bible said, how you know you'll pass from death to life, for you love the brotherhood.
That's right.
And that's why, I just love our people. I love our nation. I love to see us free. And I always think about our ancestors, Brother Josh, Nat Turner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Surgeon of Truth, and what they done, and how Surgeon of Truth is a Black woman. Her son was taken from her in the 1800s.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She went to court and represented herself and won.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I said, that had to be a strong Black woman to stand for her son and stand for her rights, and was blessed to win her son back. She stood to abolish slavery.
That's right.
Nat Turner stood to see our people free, and he was a warrior, a revolutionary. I mean, I love to keep their vision alive, and it's not complete. Their assignment's not complete.
That's right.
I want to take their spirit, which is a spirit of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan, and Allah to use me to help us get closer to the goal of freedom, justice, and equality. I don't want nothing else but the salvation of our people, to see our people free. And I want us to love each other. I hate to see the envy and jealousy and the self-hatred among us as a people. I want to see us learn how to reconcile our differences and see the bigger picture.
Yes, sir.
Which is the freedom of our people, that because the children is coming behind us. We don't want them to suffer like we suffer. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. And me united with you, Brother Josh, and you united with me, and me wanting for you what I want for myself. See, you're not a believer in God till you want for your brother and sister what you want for yourself.
Yes, sir.
I want for my people what I want for myself. That's real love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then I close with this. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad one day was riding with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad asked Honorable Minister Farrakhan, brother, do you know what the true religion of God is? And the minister, of course, being wise and, saying, "No, sir, the holy apostle." And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says, "Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you." That's the best religion.
Yes, sir.
He said, "Do you know what the best religion is?" Pardon me. That's the best religion. And if I wouldn't want someone to talk to me in a certain way, I'm not going to talk to others in that way. If I want someone to treat me a certain way, I should treat every human being the way I want to be treated. That's the best religion.
Yes, sir.
And so I want to live the life of a believer. I want, when I return to Allah, Brother Stanley, live the life of a righteous Muslim. And he loved for his brother and sister what he loved for himself. And that's what I would like to see my life to be remembered as, one who lived the life of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Beautiful. Excellent. Well, I want to thank you once again, Brother Minister, for your sacrifice, the sacrifice of your family. It was so good to see, of course, your wife and your daughters, but to see your son, Mustafa, and Tariq, just see them getting stronger and being reflections of you. And it just tripping me out because I saw them when they were so small, to see them being grown men now. I'm just honored to know you and your family. And I love you, Brother Minister. Love your family. Thank you again for coming on the People's Podcast. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. Thank you. Love
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Love you more.